Hello everybody, this is Failed Hero number 1 and we are doing some more jumping puzzles in Guild Wars 2. Now as you can see, we're doing the Eternal Battlegrounds jumping puzzle, which is arguably the most annoying jumping puzzle in Guild Wars 2. This one went by pretty quickly, just a little bit under 11 minutes. I actually fell twice, so you'll get to see how in two places you'll come back up and go back down. Now, in this case, I was at the green base, but for the other locations, which is the red and the purple or blue, depending upon how you see it, it is supposed to be blue, but I like to look at it as purple because they're in last place, and purple's a great color to come back with. But essentially, usually where your water gate entrance is, that's where you'll find the entrance to the jumping puzzle. Now, depending upon who holds it, it becomes quite dangerous for you, who holds most of the map. Now, in this case, my group, my army, my server, whatever you want to call it, we hold practically everything. Now, it's a little laggy for me, unfortunately, but I've recorded it anyways. It was actually a pretty good run, even with the lag. I, of course, am on my Guardian, which is great for the speed boons. I have 3, but I believe right now I'm only using 2. And of course I have the jump with the sword, which makes up for a lot as well. Now, the thing about this map, aside from, well, this jumping puzzle, aside from getting ganked by thieves and other people, is that there's a lot of movement in here that maybe the other jumping puzzles have trained you for, but you're not necessarily ready for the traps, because there are traps in here. There are also Ori veins as well, for those of you looking for your legendary weapons, or you're farming for them, or you want to sell stuff. So I would bring the proper equipment to harvest that there as well. So first of all, the first part is just jumping. It's not very hard. This is where it gets a little bit difficult because some people don't understand where you're supposed to go. If you fall straight down, you have to go back practically to the beginning. But in this case, we're just jumping around in circles, and it looks terrible, really, from my perspective, and from what I recorded. But it's not too difficult. This is just pretty much the warm-up. I'm jumping in places I don't need to. I'm getting ready. I'm holding the right mouse button to dictate where I go, which is what everyone should be doing when you do a jumping puzzle. It makes it a lot easier. And, well, yeah, this just really tests everything. You even have to dodge, it's almost like dodgeball. You have to dodge, duck, and catch stuff. Not really, but it's like roll. You have to roll out of the way. But this is the first major hurdle, and this is also going to be the first area in which I fall. And it's because I'm cocky. It's not because I thought I could do it. You don't even need a speed boon to do this, but I just do it because I can get through this entire sequence a lot faster. Now, if you see that basilisk head there, that's a trap. There are places see, that jump right there is actually easy to get across. I just couldn't do it for some reason. If you have a speed boon, you should be easily able to just hop across. The lag on this video is amazing. I'm of course doing this as a later commentary. I did it like a week ago, and now I'm recording my voice. But effectively, there are certain parts on the map where if you're in charge of the area and you've already passed the hard jumps, as you can see, it's actually right there in the top right corner. There's these little chains you can pull. Of course, I fall like an idiot, but there's these little chains you can pull, and when you do, they'll activate traps. Now, the basilisk heads, they'll shoot fire out, from what I've seen. There's also floor traps that have the spikes and the spears come up, and those are a pain. This is just a hop, left, right, up thing. It's not too hard. This is how, if you don't have a speed boost, this is how you should get across this gap. I, of course, use a speed boost anyways because I'm stupid. And I like to be certain, just because sometimes things don't work out the way you want. Now, this little part is a little tricky. If you miss land on a pixel, or on a corner of a texture, you can get knocked off. Not on purpose, but it happens. And that's pretty much true for any jumping puzzle, but I've seen this happen to me quite a bit. It's pretty much smooth sailing from here. You take damage, and that's another one of the things to worry about, is even when you take damage, you're just become easy prey. You have to sit there and you have to wait for your health to regain so you can move like you're supposed to. But I believe I just use my stupid healing breeze that I like to use for PvP for no reason. Up here, this is when we start to get into the difficult areas. And this is the darkness part. And for those of you who have done Sharkmaw Caverns, you'll know what this is like, except the torches don't go out over time. You have them for the duration of your run in here. As you can see, I've done this a few times. You want to be a little more careful when you do it, but this is where you have to start dodging. If you do not dodge those arrows that come out, they will knock you off the ledge and you'll have to start over. I believe I fall like right here like an idiot. Yeah, I do. And so this is just to show you how you go back. It's not difficult or anything. It just gets annoying in this place. They say it's the hardest part. I don't think it is. I think the Basilisk room, which comes up next, is. But if you actually end up fighting people in here, I could see it being like absurdly difficult. Just because there's so much stuff going on, you can't see where you are, you don't have your normal weapons. The torches are vital in here. There's no way to do it without. Now, there's different abilities with the torches. If you hit one on this Basilisk's face, it'll light up everything around the area. And that just makes it easier for you to move. You can also throw torches and it'll light up an area, or you can put a ring of fire around yourself. I just run because I know what's going on. The ring of fire, personally, when I was starting to do this, helped me a lot. And it helps a lot of new people as well, because you can not only see what's happening around you, but you can also see quite far into the distance in front of you, or to the left or right, depending upon where you are. These are just some balance beams you're walking over. Nothing too hard at this point. Here we're going to jump across this gap, and you need a speed boon, in my opinion, to get over this. I've never done it without. This is a double roll, and it's painful to do, especially if you miss, because you'll get hit by multiple arrows, and they'll just rock you off the map. Here we're jumping. I like to jump across areas where I see a beam protruding out the way I want to go, because that just makes it easier. And if I put in a little too much jump, or I run forward too much, I'm not going to fall off. I have like a little bit of a buffer between the ground and myself. Now this is the Basilisk room, and this gets really annoying for people. Those gates will open, and the Basilisk will attack you, depending upon what goes on. I've only seen it happen when people have jumped me, but there's a control panel up at the top of this area that people can pull, and it'll release them, and it's just terrifying. And I've seen, fully decked out level 80s just die in a matter of seconds. And I've also seen fully decked out level 80s kill the Basilisks, and it's just really like rock, paper, scissors, depending upon what type of person you are. This part right here that you just saw me jump up is a little bit difficult. If you hit the jump wrong, the ledges above you that are protruding out will knock you off back into the main floor. Now, if you don't hit them wrong, you can slip off of them anyways, and it's just really annoying. Like there's no forgiveness if you do it wrong. Here, this is just a part that you can easily screw up. You have to make sure you're jumping at the right moment to get across. And of course I do. That's the trap activation area. And then from here, it's just smooth sailing. I like to use the speed boons. You don't have to. I just think it makes it easier. I lack skill and really just talent to do these things, so I rely on it like a crutch. I'm sure I could do it if I practiced without, but look at that. I had the speed boon and I still screwed up. And so I think it's better safe than sorry. If you're a warrior, I would use the banners. I know rangers pretty much have perma speed boon. You just have to act accordingly when you do this. Now, you can also just be ported to the end by a Mesmer like it's nothing. This is kind of like a fun little thing that you'll see coming up. It's just a bunch of spike traps, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Sometimes the spikes are up. That was a guildmate who was porting people, but of course I was recording, so I didn't really need that. This jump looks impossible to me to make without a speed boon. You can probably do it though, because every jump in this game is that's meant to be is actually possible. Now that's just a kind of like a box scenario of death. We run through here. It's not too hard. This is just the end part. Get up. Those actually don't shoot out arrows. When the first time I came, I thought they would because of the dark area, but no. And of course, we're going to jump up here. Nothing much. We just get to see the enormous chest. And other people are up there. I got 10 honor tokens, and I got some decent siege weapons. That's what you do this for, are the tokens of the siege weapons. I also got 2 masterworks. But the tokens are important, and so are the siege weapons. You don't want to spend money on siege weapons. You don't want to spend tokens on it. But that was it. It wasn't too hard. Thank you for watching. We'll have more jumping puzzles in the future. I hope you all have a great day. Of course, it just ports us back to the opening part of the zone. But have a good one, everybody. Peace out. Rate, subscribe, whatever.